Hi guys, today we'll be looking into some of the NDA previously asked questions from GAT for your upcoming NDA 1 2022 exams. And GAT means I will not discuss the English questions, everything other than the English questions, that is physics, chemistry, bio, geography, that is social science. All those will be discussed, and all these questions will be previously asked questions from the papers 2014 till 2021. Okay, so let's get started. The first question: the Tattva Bodhini Sabha was established by. Tattva Bodhini Sabha was established by Debendranath Tagore in 1839. Who is known as the father of modern India or maker of modern India? It is Raja Ram Mohan Roy. The first tribal group which rose against the British was Khasis. Which struggle based on Gandhiji's philosophy of Satyagraha involved the industrial working class? Ahmedabad. The struggle in Ahmedabad involved the industrial working class. Which act reserved seats for women in legislatures in accordance with the allocation of seats for different communities? It is the Government of India Act 1935. Now, many of you will make mistake in this question. They will give Government of Act 1935, 1958, 1886. There will be different years. So make sure you study it. 1935, the Government of India Act 1935 is related to the reservation of seats for women in legislatures. Seats are reserved. Okay, allocation of seats for different communities. Where did Gandhiji initially forge the ideas of Satyagraha? In South Africa. Gandhiji initially implemented his ideas of Satyagraha in South Africa. He came from South Africa to India. Now, question number 7. Ahmadiyya movement was started by Mirza Ghulam Ahmed in which place? It was in Gurdaspur, and this is a place in Punjab. It is a city in Punjab, and it also maintains a border with Pakistan. Now, from this question, it can be asked in this question can be asked in different ways. Either you can expect a question like this, or they can ask who started Ahmadiyya movement. It was started by Mirza Ghulam Ahmed. Okay, Mirza Ghulam Ahmed in which place? In Gurdaspur. The socialist idea of Sapta Kranti, that is 7 revolutions, was proposed by whom? It was proposed by Ram Manohar Lohia. The socialist idea of Sapta Kranti was proposed by Ram Manohar Lohia. In the year 1928, a committee of Congress leaders drafted a constitution for India. And who headed that committee? That committee was headed by Motilal Nehru. Okay, and this is in the year 1928. Before independence, in the year 1922, a constitution was drafted by a committee, and that committee was headed by Motilal Nehru. Question 10. The famous Mughal painting depicting Jahangir embracing the Safavid king Shah Abbas was painted by which Mughal painter? This painting, which the question is talking about, was painted by the Mughal painter Abul Hasan. Okay, it was painted by Abul Hasan. Tariq-e-Feroz Shahi was written by. It was written by Barni and Affif. Okay. Question 12. During Gupta period. During which period? Gupta period. During Gupta period, which deity was called as Lokarka? Which deity was called as Lokarka? It was the sun. It was the sun which was called as Lokarka. Question 13. The leader of revolt of 1857, 80s, okay, it is in the 80s, in Lucknow. Lucknow is the capital of Uttar Pradesh. You all will know that. So the leader of revolt of 1857 in Lucknow was, who was it? Begum Hasrat Mahal. Begum Hasrat Mahal. Question 14. Now why I'm going this fast is because we have many questions to work on. So only if we go, this is just a revision class, only if we go fast, we will be able to cover all the questions. Okay. I'll be covering 30 to 40 questions in this class, in this part 1. Now in part 2, the rest of the continuation will continue. All the previous year questions which occurred in GAT will continue. I'll be continuing it in part 2. So question 14. The state of Hyderabad in the Deccan officially acceded to the Indian Union in the year. It officially acceded after independence. Okay, remember, after independence in the year 1950. Okay, after independence in the year 1950. What were the Ahmadis of Akbar's time? It was the emperor's own troops. Emperor's own troops. First president of Indian National Congress is Vomesh Chandra Banerjee. Vomesh Chandra Banerjee. Question 17. This is a very famous question. You all will know it. You should know it. Okay. This is one of the most important questions in history. The Great Bath is one of the best known remarkable structure among the ruins of ancient Indus Valley civilization, excavated at which place in Sindh, Pakistan. Now it is in Pakistan. Before separation, you know, everything, it was in India. It is Mohenjo-daro. Mohenjo-daro, this place. Great Bath you hear, it is Mohenjo-daro. And Indus Valley, then you can make sure it is Mohenjo-daro. Who was the founder of the Servants of India Society? The founder of this society is G.K. Gokhale. G.K. Gokhale was the founder of the Servants of India Society. Question 19. The concept of four-pillar state free from. Concept of four-pillar state. Free, which is free from district magistracy for India, was suggested by whom? It was suggested by a person, and this person's name came in the previous question, and he was the one who gave the concept of 7 revolutions, Saptakranti. Who was it? It was Ram Manohar Lohia. So remember that Ram Manohar Lohia gave 4-pillar state as well as 7 revolutions. Both of these were given by Ram Manohar Lohia. Question 20. Use of marble and cusped arches are the 2 distinctive features of the architecture of whose reign? This was during the reign of Shah Jahan. That is why Taj Mahal fully made of marble. And it also has cusped arches. Okay. Question 21. Who was the Prime Minister of England when the Montague Chelmsford Act was passed in the year 1919? When this Montague Chelmsford Act was passed in 1919, who was the Prime Minister of England? That's what the question is. It was Lloyd George. Lloyd George. 22. Which ruler was identified through matronymics? Now, what is matronymics? These are names derived from that of mother. Names derived from that of mothers. A name which was derived from a mother's name. And which ruler had such a name? It is Satavahana. Satavahana had such a name, and this ruler Satavahana's, his name was derived from that of his mom. Next question 23. Al-Hilal. Al-Hilal was a weekly Urdu language newspaper established by the Indian Muslim independence activist Maulana Abdul Kalam Azad. Al-Hilal. It was a weekly Urdu language newspaper, and this was established by the Indian Muslim independence activist Maulana Abul Kalam Azad. Question 24. What is Dasa Ranjana? Dasa Ranjana was Battle of 10 Kings. This is also quite a familiar question for most of you. This is important. Which traveler was from Italy? Which traveler was from Italy and visited Vijayanagara kingdom in the 15th century? It was Niccolo Conti. 26. The place of English East India Company settlement in Madras. This is important, okay? In place of Madras, many other, East India Company was there in many places. So, if it is Madras, then it is Fort St. George. The place of English East India Company settlement in Madras. In Madras was Fort St. George. Henry T. Colebrook was a professor of Sanskrit in which institution? He was a professor of Sanskrit in Fort William College. 28. The Daman I Co. was created by the British government to settle which community? The Daman I Co. was created by the British government. The Daman I Co. was created by the British government to settle which community? It was to settle Santals. 29. The Stamp Act Congress that consisted delegates from 9 of the 13 colonies in America met in New York City. They met after the independence of India in the year 1965. Okay, Stamp Act Congress. So how you should remember this is you should write Stamp Act Congress when it occurred. Year 1965. So once you see this question, instead of writing the whole question, it would take a lot of time. It's good if you do so. You can also make short notes and you can just note it like this. Stamp Act Congress, year 1965. You can remember it after independence. Okay. Who wrote? Now, the questions which are appearing in this page are everything about books and their authors and their books. Okay, you will be sure that it is. I'm 100% sure that you will get at least one question for your NDA upcoming 2022 exam from books and their authors. So these are some of the books. Now the questions which are coming are some of the books and some of their authors which have been repeatedly asked in previous NDA exams. So make sure you learn all these. Okay, it's quite important. Who wrote the book The Arctic Home in the Vedas? It was written by Bal Gangadhar Tilak. The book Arctic Home in the Vedas was written by Bal Gangadhar Tilak. Question 31. The book Poverty and Un-British Rule in India. Poverty and Un-British Rule in India is written by Dadabhai Naoroji. Dadabhai Naoroji wrote the book Poverty and Un-British Rule in India. Question 32. Who is the author of the famous essay The End of History and the Last Man? The End of History and Last Man. That wasn't written by an Indian. Okay, it was Francis Fukuyama. I don't remember what his nationality is. However, you can remember it like this: The End of History and the Last Man. This is not a book written by an Indian. Question 33. Gita Govinda was written by Jayadeva. This was written by Jayadeva. Autobiography of Nelson Mandela is. Now, all the students who are in class 10 will know this question because they have studied this autobiography. They have studied this. This is a chapter in their English Hornbill textbook, I guess. Autobiography of Nelson Mandela is Long Walk to Freedom. And if you haven't read this, please do check out in the NCRT website. This is a very quite interesting chapter in the class 10 book. Question 35. The Authorized Biography of Nelson Mandela. Now, listen here now. Autobiography of Nelson Mandela and the Authorized Autobiography of Nelson Mandela. Autobiography of Nelson Mandela has been written by Nelson Mandela. Now, the Authorized Biography, not autobiography, the Authorized Biography of Nelson Mandela was written not by Nelson Mandela but by Fatima Mir. And the name of the book is Higher Than Hope, and it is written by Fatima Mir. Okay. 36. Who wrote Kitab ul Hind? Kitab ul Hind was written by Al-Biruni. Al-Biruni wrote Kitab ul Hind. Question 37. In which Buddhist council Buddhism was divided into Stavravadins and Mahasanghikas? In which Buddhist council Buddhism was divided into Stavravadins and Mahasanghikas? It was in the Second Buddhist Council. Question 38. Which dynasty ruled over Magda when Alexander invaded India? This is also an important question which has been asked previously many times. It has been repeatedly asked. Which dynasty ruled over Magda when Alexander invaded India? Nandas. Okay, Nandas. Question 39. Battle of Collateral 1741 was fought between Indian king and which European colonizer? So we want to know here who the European colonizers were, not the Indian king. Okay, Battle of Collateral 1741 was fought between Indian king and Dutch colonizers and by Dutch people. 40. Who first used the term Industrial Revolution? Okay, this is also again previously asked. This has been asked repeatedly many times, and this is also important. Okay, this is important. Who first used the term Industrial Revolution in English to describe the changes that occurred in British industrial development between 1760 and 1820? It is undoubtedly Arnold Toynbee. Question 41. Who gifted the Badshah Nama to King George in 1799? Who gifted the Badshah Nama to King George in 1799? This is also important. This is Nawab of Awadh. The Nawab of Awadh gifted the Badshah Nama to King George in the year 1799. Question 42. The story Ganda Tindu Jataka. Okay, its name is quite funny. Was written in which language? The story Ganda Tindu Jataka was written in which language? It was written in Pali. Okay, the language is Pali. According to the Tamil Sangam texts, who were the large landowners? The large landowners were Vellalars. They were called as Vellalars. Question 43. Who has complimented Samudragupta as the Indian Napoleon? It was Mr. Smith. A.V. Smith. A.V. Smith complimented Samudragupta as the Indian Napoleon. 45. In the revenue department of Mauryas, who was in charge of the collection of all revenues in the empire? It was the Samahatra. Okay, it was the Samahatra who had to collect all the revenues in the empire. He not collect, He was in charge of the collection of the revenues in the empire. Samahatra. 46. Which were the two newspapers published by Annie Besant? Annie Besant. Okay. Commonweal and New India. New India and Commonweal. These were the two newspapers which Annie Besant published. Question 47. Who deciphered the Brahmi and Kharosthi scripts? Who deciphered the Brahmi and Kharosthi scripts? James Prinsep. The Brahmi and Kharosthi scripts were deciphered by James Prinsep. James Prinsep. 48. Which politician in British India had opposed to a Pakistan that would mean Muslim Raj here and Hindu Raj elsewhere? Sikandar Hayat Khan. He was a politician in British India and he opposed to a Pakistan that meant Muslim Raj here and Hindu Raj elsewhere. It was Sikandar Hayat Khan. Who is the author of the autobiography entitled Amar Katha? It is not Amar Chitra Katha. Okay, it is just Amar Katha. Binodini Dasi, author of the autobiography, and this is autobiography. Amar Chitra Katha is not an autobiography. Okay, who is the now? Don't think like that. Okay, who is the author of the autobiography entitled Amar Katha? Amar Chitra Katha is just a storybook, not an autobiography. Please don't think that it is that Amar Chitra Katha is this Amar Katha. Okay, both of them are different. Author of autobiography entitled Amar Katha is Binodini Dasi. Next question. The idea of Far-i-Azadi, on which the Mughal kingship was based, was first developed by which Sufi saint? Sufi saint Shahabuddin Suhrawardi. Idea of Far-i-Azadi, on which the Mughal kingship was based on the idea of Far-i-Azadi, and it was first developed by which Sufi saint? Shahabuddin Suhrawardi. Question 51. What was Bargir in Maratha army? In Maratha army, Bargir meant cavalry. 52. In which battle was Tipu Sultan shot and killed? This is also an important question. This has been asked previously many times. He was shot and killed in the 4th Anglo-Indian War. Self-respect movement was initiated by E.V. Ramaswamy Naikar. Self-respect movement was initiated by E.V. Ramaswamy Naikar. 54. The distance between which two cities has been reduced by the Atal Tunnel. The distance between which two cities has been reduced the Atal Tunnel. What they want here is, they want which two cities. Distance between which two cities was reduced because of Atal Tunnel. That is what the question is asking. It is Manali to Leh. Manali to Leh, their distance has been reduced because of the Atal Tunnel. 55. Biography of Sheikh Moinuddin Chishti was authored by Jahanara is known as. Here they have asked the book's name. And that book, it's known as, the biography is known as Muniz al-Arwa. Now from this question they can ask either the book or the author or whose biography was it. Sheikh Moinuddin Chishti. It was authored by Jahanara and that is known as Muniz al-Arwa. Question 56. Okay, by mistake it's actually 56. Question 56. Who is the author of Kalpa Sutra? The author of Kalpa Sutra is Bhadrabahu. Question 57. This is 56. And this is 50. Just a minute. This is question 57. Okay. The first tribal group which rose against, we did this question before. This is Khasis, who had ridiculed Congress as representing only a microscopic minority of the people. Who had ridiculed Congress as representing only a microscopic minority of the people. It was Lord Dufferin. Lord Dufferin ridiculed Congress as representing only a microscopic minority of the people. Question 59. Who founded the Bil Seva Mandal in 1922? It was founded by Amritlal Vitaldas Thakur, who is also known as Thakur Papa. Amritlal Vitaldas Thakur, who is also known as Thakur Papa. He founded the Bil Seva Mandal in the year 1922. Question 60. In Buddhism, what does Patimokkha stand for? Patimokkha. In Buddhism, Patimokkha stands for the rules of the Sangha. Rules of the Sangha. Patimokkha stands for the rules of the Sangha. 61. Okay, just add 1 to all the question numbers. 61. Which Maratha statesman signed the Treaty of Basin on December 31, 1802? Bajirao II. Maratha statesman Bajirao II signed the Treaty of Basin on December 31, 1802. Harappan site, which is specialized center for making shell objects. It is Lothal. The Harappan site is Lothal, and it is known for making. It is a specialized center which is known for making shell objects. Question 62. Who was a British resident in Awadh at the time of annexation into British Dominion? James Outram. He was the British resident in Awadh at the time of annexation into British Dominion. James Outram. The Act prohibiting child marriages was passed in 1889 due to the efforts of two people, Jyotiba Phule and Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar. Two people are these two people. Only because of their efforts, an act prohibiting child marriages was passed in 1891 due to the efforts of Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar and Jyotiba Phule. Akbarnama was written originally in which language? This also it's very common question. Persian. Akbarnama was written originally in Persian. 66. Basket of X topography is related to. I guess this was asked in the year 2021. If my memory is right, it was asked in 2021. I remember basket of X. Okay. Drumlins. Basket of X topography is related to drumlins. 67. The longest latitude is 0 to 0 degree latitude. This is the longest latitude. And by this, so now we have done 67 question, and by this we come to the end of this session, this part 1 discussion of NDA GAT previous year question. And the link to, now we finished till 67 question. Now from 68 question, please check the link in the description. I have uploaded another video which again has more questions, more previously asked NDA GAT questions. Okay, please check the link in the description and do check it. It will be really helpful for a last minute revision for you guys. Okay, and so the part 2 of the video, I've uploaded the link. Please do check it out, and still then, bye bye, stay safe, take care. Thank you.